Over the last 6 months, we have met a number of remarkable women, from India's first master of wine and an early mover in climate tech investments to a scriptwriter and entrepreneur. The backstories of each of these ladies have been inspiring. Today, we're going to meet someone who's not only a woman of substance, but is also helping thousands of other women's dreams take wing. She was also the youngest Cat-I air traffic controller, an alumnus of the Defence Services Staff Course, and the sole woman officer in her batch. Wing Commander Sharma made history as the first woman officer to take command at an Airmen Selection Centre. Taking charge during the Agnipath scheme announcement, she oversees the 8 Airmen Selection Centre covering Tamil Nadu, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Puducherry. She has played a pivotal role in selecting the first batches of Agniveer men and women. She's also an auto enthusiast, and I'm sure she'll be curious about the Mercedes GLE. My guest today on the show is Wing Commander Vinamrata Sharma. She's been a serving officer of the Indian Air Force for over 16 years, and she currently holds the position of the commanding officer of the 8 Airmen Selection Centre right here in Chennai. Like the three-pointed star, she has many firsts, and we're happy to have her with us. Hi, so glad to meet you and so glad we could be here.
Yes.
Looking forward to this conversation today, but I believe we have a common passion, driving.
Yes.
And that got me really kicked, so I have a special surprise for you. We have the new, brand new Mercedes-Benz GLE, which has just come out. So I thought I'd bring it for the drive so that you can have some fun behind the wheel as well.
Oh, wow.
Not something I do very often because I hate letting go of the wheel.
Thank you.
But you have the privilege today.
Thank you.
So where did this passion for driving start?
Where did it start? Exactly, I'm not aware. It's been some time now. But yes, driving for me is me time, my happy time. And to tell you frankly, it's pretty meditative in nature.
Amazing.
You know? Yes.
I just so resonate with you because for me also being in the car, just my music, going on a long drive calms me down from all the troubles of a day, and I get to realign my thoughts.
Yes.
So I completely, so that's what you do to unwind?
Absolutely, yes. I just unwind after a busy day, stressful day. Just half an hour of this time, you know, when you're behind the steering, it's amazing.
But I believe behind this passion, there's a hidden passion of racing and rallying, because I believe you did a
yes.
car rally recently.
Yes, very recently. I got lucky through the organization itself. I could participate in a car rally. And I was amazed, you know, we get to drive and we get to win.
Amazing.
What better?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now let's get you behind the wheel.
All right, okay.
So I hope you enjoy driving, because for me also this new GLE is the first time I'm getting into this car and seeing it, and it definitely looks more spacious to me. But talking about firsts, coming to you, you've had so many firsts in your life. You've kind of trailblazed all throughout it. But start at the beginning. You were born in Meerut, I believe.
Yes.
So start at the beginning and tell us a little bit about your life and what led you here.
Yes, I hail from Meerut and I belong to a very small, simple, middle-class family. My dad, he was an engineer in the MES, and mother retired from a government school as a government school teacher. We are 3 siblings, I'm the youngest, and I was up to mass communication. I was studying mass comm in Delhi by MCA. So destiny takes you to places. I truly believe in this. I was preparing for my interviews and all. One friend of mine, you know, he suggested that I should appear for AFCAT. And after like 16 years into the Air Force, I'm here in Blues.
Yeah.
So
amazing. But I mean, destiny does take you to places.
Sharp curve in 300 meters.
Luckily, we have a navigation system that's telling us what we need to do. But in life, you know, while destiny does play a big part, family also, you need that support, especially when you're charting a new territory.
From a very early age, my dad like taught all three sisters, to be independent, to be self-reliant. That's something which we learned when we saw our mother work. So it's very important for parents to tell their daughters or to tell their kids, to be self-reliant, to be independent, I feel, yes.
So you were the only woman around at that time, but I think things have changed. Very recently you have this program called Agniveer Vayu and you're inducting new people. Lot more women, I think you've now getting into the fold. Tell me a little bit about that program and how it's progressed and the progressiveness in the Air Force as well.
Indian Air Force has taken a lot of steps to make the environ far more gender inclusive. We have been very progressive in terms of having women in a lot of roles. Like quite early we've had a women joining in combat itself. So you have women as fighter pilots and women being taking over as commanding officers. Like for myself, I have taken over the ASC, and likewise we have other women officers who have even taken role of commanding officer of a combat unit. And the recent implementation of Agniveer Vayu, women, when we are saying that women are joining as Agniveer Vayu, which is a recent development, and I would say that the implementation of Agniveer Vayu and having women to join Indian Air Force as Agniveer Vayu is a big leap towards making the environment or the organization more gender inclusive. So now we have women in all ranks.
So, modern day cars, the cockpits of them are very much like fighter jets, and your job involves controlling these fighter jets. It's quite high pressure actually, because there's so much. Everything happens so snap with these planes, right?
Yes. If you talk about controlling, like am I a traffic controller? That's my branch, and controlling, I would say, more than being recognized as high pressure, but for me it's my passion. And as soldiers you are bound to work in pressure, and the best part is that the organization trains you to deliver your best in pressure. That is what we are supposed to do as controllers, to perform and give our best in times of pressure, when we are recovering and when we are ensuring the safe landings for our pilots.
You've had this journey along various paths. At the moment you're in an administrative role, which involves inducting new talent and new energy into that. So how's that transition been, like being an air traffic controller and then transitioning to this job?
Okay, yeah, so as I said that training is an important part for a soldier. So we are trained to adapt to different situations, and likewise what I told you in controlling, what happens is that multitasking and quick decision making, it just becomes your second nature, because you do not have time there. It is a split second decision which you need to make. So all these things which you acquire, these qualities which you acquire, or these traits which you acquire, these traits, they come very handy in each and every aspect of your life. Like as a commanding officer of an Airmen Selection Centre, where I have to ensure fair selection and the awareness about the scheme. All these things are very important to me, and they help me a lot in taking over, this role.
But what are the other takeaways from the job of an ATC that you've had over the years that you feel you now bring to your everyday life as well?
The most important thing which I would say is that how do you handle an emergency? How you maintain your calm in the need of that emergency, where you are ensuring that the other person is landing safely, is the most important trait of a controller. So the biggest takeaway in this is that in the dire need, when you're facing an emergent situation anywhere, even in life, in your profession or wherever you are, you need to maintain your calm.
Correct.
You need to maintain your cool. That is the biggest thing. What happens is the situation is never that, is not always that tricky. But your reaction and your, impulsive reaction to it makes it slightly,
and panic just amplifies everything,
so you cannot panic as a controller. You're trained for that. So that's
if we have an emergency situation, we know who to call now, because we know you'll calm us all down immediately.
Thank you.
We're having a smooth ride in this car, but has life always been smooth? What have been the challenges for you along the way?
I never faced in my organization bias. I never faced it. So that ways organization has been very supporting. But yes, it is challenging. Generally, the implementation of the scheme itself, as a commanding officer, when I took over the ASC, and the same time Agniveer Vayu or the Agnipath scheme was announced, we definitely had certain challenges because it was a new scheme. But with the right directions from the higher ups and a dedicated team, we could sail through. And we are happy, that we could select, the best of the lot.
Yeah.
But in this portfolio or as a selector, you definitely need to travel a lot, both for selection reasons and also for making people aware about the new scheme which has come up. Making your area, like right now I'm responsible for the entire region of Tamil Nadu, Andaman Nicobar and Puducherry.
Oh,
so
wow.
it comes under the responsibility of me and my unit, my team, to make the youth aware about there's an opportunity.
Correct.
It's a great opportunity existing for them to join the Indian Air Force's Agniveer Vayu, after they qualify their 12th. So, that is a very important duty alongside the selection activity, which definitely is part of my role and task.
And you said Andaman and
Yes,
Nicobar, and you
yes.
have students coming in from there as well?
Yes, they do. Recently, we had a awareness campaign which we had organized. Me and my team, we had gone to Karnik, and it was a very first attempt for the kids, the youth of Karnik.
Yeah, because you're not really allowed to go there otherwise.
Yes, definitely. And so we went there. We have a base over there. We went there and we could interact. And that's because it's in the AOR and it's one of the most remotest location, I would say.
Yeah.
And you would not believe that we got such a positive response.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
from the administration side and from the kids themselves, like all those kids who were there in,
Absolutely.
we targeted 10th, 11th and 12th students.
Okay.
And the girls were so enthusiastic and so were the boys. And they were all so keen to join. And it was a very good, I would say it's a feeling of satisfaction, when you really reach the people who are in need, who are looking for good job opportunities,
Correct.
and who actually represent our youth,
Yeah.
So it was a good, I would say it was a great success. The entire campaigning was a great success.
And I guess for them it feels a matter of pride to be a part of, your country's armed forces.
Definitely. Joining the Indian Air Force and likewise, like what I told you, that women have recently, we've just had the first batch joining the stations, of Agniveer Vayu women. So these young girls, who are 17 and a half, 18 or maybe till 21 years of age, for them it's a matter of pride,
Yeah.
to serve their motherland, to wear that uniform. And it gives you a
I
feeling.
get gooseflesh when you tell me that.
Even I have that,
Yeah.
every time when I'm addressing these kids, till now, even I get goosebumps. That's the feeling of, that pride which you get serving for your country or your motherland.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you had the first, like, this batch of men, women and all that, how do you find the women, doing in the
Very well.
Yeah.
Very well, yes. And very enthusiastic. And with all that feeling, that they just want to do it, And if you would say that, kind of a message or, what I would want to tell them or, all those people who are coming up, the aspirants, is that, they have got a very good opportunity, If I'm talking about this thing of joining the IFS Agniveer Vayu or generally in life,
Yeah.
Nowadays, girls, women, young girls, they have a lot of opportunities in front of them. What they need to understand is that they need to instill in themselves this feeling of self-reliance, which is most important, That they need to rely on themselves more than anyone else. Once they start doing that, I can only say that sky is the limit.
Absolutely.
For them. Yes.
Well, the sky is the limit. Yeah, definitely in the Air Force. There isn't a limit. But thank you so much for having this conversation. It has been wonderful talking with you. And we look forward to more of the Agniveer Vayu girls.
Yes, definitely, yes. Absolutely. We are looking for the next batch to come soon, join us soon, yes. It was lovely meeting you, driving the vehicle and talking to you as well.
Thank you.